we procure those resources, what they needed. Then we have to plan how we are going to provide those resources to the users. And who will be the persons who will be providing those resources, who will be providing those services to the users. So planning requires what? Planning requires deciding what resources we are going to provide and how we are going to provide it. So if we plan those things,
What happens?
Hello, Karim. Hello. Hello, Karim. Hello, ఏమైనా సార్ది డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిందా?
హలో
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 హలో ఎవరు మాట్లాడేది? కరీమా?
అవును సార్.
కరీం సార్ ఏమైనా వాయిస్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిందా సార్ సడన్ గా?
వాయిస్ అవును సార్, కట్ అయిపోయింది.
మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవుతారులే, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
సరే
వెయిట్ చేద్దాం 5-10 minutes.
సరే.
ఇంటర్నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉండొచ్చు. సార్ ఉన్నారు.
Sir, voice is not audible, sir.
నేను సార్కి ఫోన్ చేస్తున్నాము, కొంచెం వెయిట్ చేయండి.
Okay, sir.
సార్ సడన్లీ యువర్ వాయిస్ డిస్కనెక్టెడ్ సార్.
This entire thing has
అయ్యో, ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. నౌ కరెక్టెడ్ సార్, నౌ కరెక్టెడ్.
okay.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఓకే సార్ వచ్చారు, లైన్లో వచ్చారు.
Okay. There was, I think, some internet problem or something. It has disappeared.
ఓకే సార్.
So, am I audible to all of you now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There was some problem, internet problem, and it disappeared. So we were discussing about the planning, and in order to achieve the goals set up by an organization, we need to plan how we are going to achieve those goals. And in order to achieve the goals set up by our organization or set up by ourselves in the organization, we need to provide certain services, we need to provide certain resources to the users in our libraries so that those goals are achieved. And in order to provide the services so that we can fulfill the goals, we need proper planning. The planning is to be done for the services to be provided currently, services to be provided in future. Both. What we plan in anticipation how we are going to provide the services in the future. And also we should have proper planning so that whatever services we are currently providing to our clientele should not get disturbed. Those services should be provided systematically. So there will be different types of planning. Strategic planning will be there. Operational planning will be there. When you plan for what kind of services or what kind of resources you are going to provide in future for certain period, that period may be a month, period may be a year, or a period may be longer than a year. A planning period maybe 2 years, 3 years. So we have to do strategic planning. And when we want to have the current services to run in uninterruptedly, we need operational planning so that the current services should not get disturbed. It should be done. And what are the places where we need to plan for? As we know, the selection of material to be provided to the clientele is a continuous process in the library, but we should have proper selection procedure so that we are able to provide the right material to the right person on the right time. If suppose a person wants something related to a particular subject, related to a particular topic, and you fail to provide the material relevant to that topic or relevant to that subject, your service fails. And if you say, okay, I will be able to provide you after some time, after few days, then also your service is not proper. So you should be time conscious. You have to follow the laws of library science while providing the services. And if you are able to provide the services, that means you have planned the things properly. So what are the certain things which need planning, proper planning, systematic planning? So selection procedure of a library, the acquisition procedure, how to acquire the material which is selected on time, should be processed as early as possible and should be provided to the readers as quickly as possible. So you should also have a proper planning for a good circulation system for the library. And not only the proper circulation system, there should also be proper storage and management of the information resources. And we should be not only storing that information, but also disseminating as and when needed, so that the client gets satisfied without wasting the time. What is the uh, law of library science says? What is the fourth law? Yes. What is the fourth law of library science?
Save the time of the readers.
Very good. So you are supposed to save the time of the reader, and you will be able to save the time of the reader if you have planned for the services in advance and in proper way. Then not only you have to manage the resources, you have to manage the finances, money available, budget available for the library. You should plan how you are going to spend, how much for what services, and what should be the proportion of subjects or documents which you are going to procure, and what services you are going to provide in addition to the lending services in the library. And also you have to plan for proper placement of the staff, allocating the duties properly, who will be able to do best job according to his skills, his or her skills. So you are supposed to allocate the jobs relevant to the person who are having better skills in that field. That is must. Human resource planning in the library, it is a must. Then what you require to do for planning? you have to analyze the goals of your organization. First thing, whatever it has been set up. Second thing, you have to examine the organizational setup, do proper analysis of the system which is working in the library, and then, if required, take correctional steps whenever needed so that the library services run smoothly. So now we will see certain what are the uh, steps required in planning, and what are the advantages of planning the services. Particularly in libraries, planning helps to systematically move towards the achievement of goals. That means you are first, if you are properly planning, you will be able to achieve the goals. Second thing, planning helps to offset uncertainty. That means, and if you are planning, if some place there is some interruption due to some problem, that you will be able to set right, and you will again uh, move on the right path so that you can achieve the goals. And planning, uh, you can, based on the planning, take the right decisions, and uh, you can also prioritize. Prioritize means find out what works need attention, what is to be taken care of first, and what is to be taken next. Like that, in a systematic way, you can identify the requirements of a system and then work accordingly, according to the priorities assigned by you. Uh, if you do proper planning, it facilitates the control and coordination of library activities, library services, library programs. And also, you will be able to allocate the duties properly to the people so that you are able to provide all the services properly. So as I was telling, under the types of library planning, you can have strategic planning, you can have operational planning. Under strategic planning, you can set up the long-term goals of the organization, and by properly identifying or properly scanning the internal and as well as external environment, and then develop the strategic plan so that the organization, under the whatever environment it is working, it is able to provide the services. And as I already told, under operational planning, we have to plan for selection, acquisition, circulation of material, and different types of information services to be provided, what information is to be stored, what information, when needed, it is to be disseminated, what procedure you are going to follow for the storage and information and dissemination of the information. Uh, in order to plan proper services, one has to uh, clearly find out who are the potential users of your library, then what are the information, total information flow which is available, and also the what kind of resources you have got. These three things users, then information available, as well as the current library resources which can be used properly in order to provide it to the users. Then you have to also certain things are there. You may, in order to have proper uh, planning and in order to provide proper services, you may be required to make a survey of your uh, library. What kind of clientele you have got? Interact with the clientele so that you can find out through them what resources they are needing, what resources they expect from the library. List out all those interactions where they whether they need any changes in the types of services to be provided, whether they need any change in the type of resources you are providing to your clientele. All those things you will be able to find only after making interactions with the users. So it is very important you from time to time you interact with the readers, find out what they need, note down those things, and plan accordingly. And in order to provide the services systematically, you also need to make survey or have proper knowledge of your organizational chart of the institution, what functional activities are carried out by the institution by different sections. One should also go through the annual reports of the organization, and also you need, as I told, interviewing or interacting with the clientele so that you are able to provide the services to the reader as per the plans. So you also, as if suppose somebody tells you or if you write for your assignments the what kind of planning needed, you should list out all the resources, all the services which you are planning and providing to the users. That is very important uh, from the uh, user point of view as well as uh, from general point of view in the library. If you uh, want to find out what are the different ways you can plan your the services, here I will tell you. Uh, you can see the page number 79 of your uh, study material provided for this paper, that is paper number 2, Management of Information System. On 79 pages, page number 79 as well as 78, you will see a chart is drawn. Here you can see a systematic chart. What are the different kind of resources which can be used for providing the services to the user. Here you will find the primary resources like periodicals. You can see the secondary resources like reprints, notes, books, photograph charts, diagrams, and also you can see certain intermediary information resources which are available on non-book materials. That chart depicts, which is on page number 78, which are the resources which you are supposed to plan in advance how to throughout the years using your financial resources what going to procure how you are going to provide it to the users. And on 78 pages, page number 79, you will find the current library services and resources. You have to evaluate. You have to evaluate the resources available, and here certain things are listed out for evaluating. What are those things? What efforts you are putting? What quantity and quality which you are procure? What are the performance, the results of efforts into output which are listed, then whether performance is adequate or not, how is the efficiency of the services provided, and how you are going to provide the service. All those things are given, and then you will find that there is some disturbance, please. So then, yeah, in the same your study material, they have how you can plan based on the operations research. What are the techniques based monitor the services as well as the resources? What are those things given here? Techniques which can be used are operations research, management information system, management by objectives, network analysis, and budgeting. All those 5 given in your study material, which you can easily understand. So, what are the things here under operation research? What you can do, because the 5 things which are given are operation management, MIS, that is management information systems, management by objectives, network analysis, as well as budgeting, which is given under operation research. You can able to state or formulate the problem, and you can prepare a model using under the operational research. You can prepare, then whatever model you have prepared, you can test it, and then uh, accordingly you can plan and work. If you see the steps given on page number 84, what are the processes involved in operational research? First thing, formulation of problem. You have to formulate a problem. Then you have to prepare a mathematical model for that, implement that model, and then finding out the solution or deriving the solution from the model, establishing control, and finally testing the model and finding the solution. So similarly, you are required to under operational research, what are the things which you can plan for the libraries. Under that, you can clearly see here allocation of resources is there, policy making is there, planning activities, that is planning of resources is there, information services like marketing of information and designing the new services, establishing of databases for different aspects of library. And also you can subscribe to certain online services from outside, that is uh, commercial, through commercial organization. one can uh, subscribe to the services. And then you will find other thing given here is you can apply the certain management techniques to properly plan for the services, such as you can do network analysis. Network analysis requires what? The main thing in that one is what is the total price or the money involved for the project. Then how you can, whatever you are planning under that, you how much amount you are going to spend, what will be the duration of a project, and then you can plan what will be the cost, what will be the time, that you can plan accordingly and provide the services. You will find, in addition to this, you can use certain techniques uh, like what we call PERT and CPM. That is, you can again see on page number 86, the demarcation has been made between the PERT, PERT and CPM. How you can do the things by planning and using these techniques. Four things have been identified. PERT, while PERT has been considered as event oriented, CPM is considered as activity oriented, while PERT is probabilistic in nature. On the other hand, CPM is deterministic in nature. Concerned, one is concerned with time, while CPM is concerned both with time as well as the cost. While PERT is used for new projects and CPM can be used for recurring ongoing projects, or we call it as a repetitive uh, projects. So now uh, we will see certain important aspects of managing the library services. Under that, you have got a separate unit we call as systems analysis. What is a, suppose I tell you system, what is, how you can define the system? What is meant by a system? Can, suppose I tell you, as you might have, all of you might have heard, computer system. Why we call computer system? Why not only what is meant by a computer system? It will have processing unit, it will have the monitor, it will have the printer, it will have the mouse, it will have the keyboard. Together, it is known as system. Similarly, for an organization or for an institution through which it is managed is known as a system. A system consists of different departments. A system consists of different persons with different skills so that they can manage each department. Each system will have its own resources. The resources are distributed to each unit of the system. So your organization works as a system, and in order to make the study of the system, you are required to analyze the system. What are the components available in a particular system, so that each unit of that system works properly. So, what is meant by analysis? When we do classification, all of you are familiar now because you are master's degree holder. So in your BLSC also you might have studied. When we classify a document, what we do, we analyze the contents, subject contents of a book. Then only you are able to coin a proper class number. Analysis is very important. In order to study a system of organization, you are required to analyze the system. Why it is needed? It is needed to know what are the components of a system are there which need the attention of the management. So here you will see certain definition how the system has been defined. A system is defined as organized or complex whole, an assemblage or combination of things or parts forming a complex or unitary whole. So this definition, what it tells, you have to analyze, find out what are the components, and when those components are assembled together, it becomes system. So assemblage of objects are some form of regular interaction and interdependence. So here also you uh, have to analyze the components, analyze the units of a system, and then you have to uh, study in detail what are the objectives of each component are defined there. Another definition say a group of parts or components or elements interlinked together in some fashion to objectives. Overall, if you see all the three things, it is one and the almost same. When you analyze, find out what are the elements, what are the units, what are the sections, what work they are doing, what resources they have, what services they are providing. If all those units objectives, all those units functions, all those units responsibilities, if you assemble them, it becomes a system. As I told, whether a computer processor works by itself, no. It works with the help of mouse, it works with the help of keyboard, it works with the help of processor, it works with the help of monitor. Same way, all the components together form a system. The organizational system also is in the similar way, joining the different units, joining the different functional units, it becomes. If you see your study material, very nice example he has given. He says, for example, if we take our body, our own body, so we have got different parts. There are different functions of the parts. So the uh, digestion system, digestive system, circulatory system, the respiratory system, like that systems are there. Our body, lungs are there. We have noses through which we take the respiration, connected directly to the respiratory system. We have got digestive system right from mouth. It is going, alimentary canal is there, and then you will find the all components which are there together. It is known as digestive system. How this blood is supplied to the heart, from there it is carried out to different parts of the system. It is known as the circulation or circulatory system. Similarly, in an organization, how an organization functions. Suppose it is a scientific organization. First, you have to find out what are the objectives of that organization, what are different parts. Library is one of the part, one of the component. Then there is another information unit may be different. There may be unit for what we call uh, publishing. There may be a scientific activity, what kind of going on. Then again division will be there. There may be some, suppose if it is an organization, there may be chemistry division, there may be physics division, there may be biology division. So together it forms a system. Together it forms a system. Similarly, in the library, if you see, there is procurement section, which also performs the functions of selection of material. There can be a technical processing section. There will be a maintenance section. There will be a circulation section. There will be a reference section. There may be a book bank section. Together, it forms a system that is known as library. That system name is library. Its components may be different. Reprography is also there. Information dissemination is there. Circulation is there. Procurement is there. Technical processing is there. Nowadays, there is online services, searching databases, consulting the online journals, providing online abstracting service, providing searching the full text databases, patent search, standard search. So the services, if when you analyze a system, you know what are different services provided, and those services are provided by which section. So if you want the definitions, on page number 94, definition of system is given. It says the organized scientific study accomplished by breaking down the different components of an assembly and its subsequent synthesis into a unified whole with a view to achieving the tasks, goals, and objectives of the assembly. Same thing. It is the play of words. Always definitions are the play of words. The basic thing is same thing. It says you have to analyze the different components, that is subject analysis, and then synthesize, assemble it. That becomes a system. And if it says further, if you see, the systematic and logical analysis of a problem and the design of a system to correct any of the inefficiencies or errors which exist in the current operations. A conceptual strategy for problem solving. Why we do system analysis? Find out this system, each system, and under that system, various components are there. see whether those components are able to work properly and provide this satisfactory services. You identify in which component or in which part of the system lies some errors which need to be corrected. And how you can correct those errors? By problem solving. Why something has happened? Suppose there are frequent complaints from the reprography by readers telling that reprographic section is not able to provide the photocopying or xeroxing services, not able to provide the in-time services. You analyze the problems. Go to that relevant component, that is reprographic section. Find out where the inefficiency is there, whether the operator is inefficient. No, you find that he has got good skills. He is able to work hard. And where is the problem? Is the machine not functioning properly? No, machine is working properly because they have already done what we call the service contract with some firms. If there is any breakdown, immediately the person will attend to it. Still complaints are there. There is no proper on-time supply of photocopies. When you analyze the problem, you find the machine is good, person is good, but when you interact with that person, you find there is some problem in the supply of paper. Purchase section. You have to contact your purchase section, stores and purchase section, and find out why they are not able to fulfill the indents given by reprography sections on time. Whether the indent for the procurement of paper has been given on time, yes. Then where is the problem? Delay is in the purchase section. They are taking a lot of time to place tender or invite quotations, purchase the material, provide it to the operator so that smooth services can be provided. So you have identified, discuss with the purchase officer, stores officer, solve that problem. So purchase the material in bulk and indent of paper, etc., consumables before they are fully exhausted, before they are exhausted. So all those things, what we call identifying the lacunas, trying to rectify those things, solve the problem. That managerial aspect. A manager has to take care of such things, such needs of the system. And then you see the how system study can be made. You can see your on page number 96 of your study material 96, 97, you can find out what are the methods given for making the systems study. What are the steps involved? If you see, first thing is that a system, what it says, a system study may be equated to the phrase, let us be organized, helps to increase efficiency and productivity of the library. It consists of the following procedure components. As I told, given the reprographic example, as I was telling you in the offline class also, If you remember, a person gives to the librarian and he says he urgently requires a document to be procured. Now, once a person, a researcher says he need a document to be document for his use, then it is the librarian who has to explore, see that what is the requirement, whether that immediate requirement can be fulfilled by using interlibrary loan or document delivery service, or it has to be purchased from outside organization, from outside publisher. Once you decide, if you feel or if you have searched the resources in nearby organization, you have consulted union catalog, you have consulted online data resources of other libraries and find such a resource is not available, then you may acquire it directly from publisher on priority basis by airmail, paying, and you have procured the document in minimum time. You have purchased the document in minimum time. After purchasing that, you have told your assistant that this urgently needed by the person, so immediately process. It has to be immediately accession. It was done. It was classified. It was catalogued in minimum time period, and that document still did not reach the person who needed. He complains to the librarian, sir, I told I need urgently one document. I gave 15 days before indent. Nothing has come. Then librarian finds out immediately, oh, where is that document, whether it has come on, it was selected. Approval was obtained immediately, order was placed. When the procurement section in charge is consulted, he says, sir, it has come on time by airmail. I received it on 5th or 6th day itself. I myself classified. I catalogued it. But why it has not reached the circulation section? Why it has not reached to the maintenance section? You have to analyze. System analysis, find out where that document has halted. Yeah, it halted in technical processing section. There was, when you call that person and tell what has happened, why that book has not been released to the maintenance section for circulation. It is, sir, labels are what? Book due date slips are not there, so order has been placed. So somewhere you find there is problem in technical processing section. See that if there is no due date slip, take a photocopy of that old due date slip and paste it. If there are no labels, you release it. Write arbitrarily and release it, pending that technical processing, so that the work, important work, which is to be carried by the researcher, does not get delayed unnecessarily. It's very important. It is, remember, if you have analyzed this, your system of working, responsibilities assigned to the person, identify who is responsible, where is the problem, solve that problem, remove that deficiency. So the deficiency is should be converted to efficiency. Warn that person that in future there should be no halt for the publication more in that section. So it is possible only if you have a proper system and do proper analysis of the system, do proper study of the system, find out whether each component of the system is working properly or somewhere there are lacunas. So if you see what are the steps involved in the system study, first, it gives problem identification, page number 96. If you see problem identification, description in a system, the context, then what are the objectives, outcomes desired of problem solution, specification of inputs and resources, priorities, and constraints on possible courses of action. Constraints. What is meant by constraints? Constraint is difficulties. What are the difficulties in this of that particular component of the system? Then formulation of alternative courses. Suppose you find, as I told, if there is no label available, write with pencil the call number and that, or release that book immediately when the label comes. You repaste it and give, but don't halt the person from using the resource which he has requested. Then collection and analysis of data, promising selection and implementation of best possible alternative, performance monitoring, measurement, evaluation, correction or modification of the implementation as needed, monitoring, measurement, and these are some of the things you have to evaluate your services time to time. Make systematic study of your organizational or your unit of your organization, analyze, make a proper setup, make a chart, how it's smoothly functioning each unit, and how where the problem is there that has to be solved. If you see in page number 97, system analysis and problem solving. If you see on page number 98, you will find a chart is drawn which says how you can delineate the system, establish its boundaries, define objectives, determine current status and constraints, difficulties, generate if there are any constraints. Select the solution. If you have found out which is the best solution, then assemble whatever system rules or specifications are there and test, install the system, operate the system, evaluate the system. These are common things. These are common things. Make a study, find out how the system is, where are the problems solved, make systematic of time to time, make evaluation of the system. Any changes needed, it has to be introduced. Any alternatives to be found, that has to be selected, and those alternatives to be implemented. The best out of the, suppose there are 2-3 alternatives, the most suitable, which can be easily used. So that is what is required. Then if you see the your page number 99, he shows how system analysis can be done. It has identified, says there is one analysis phase and there is evaluation phase, there is design phase. Three phases have been identified, and under analysis phase, what you have to find out, you have to do certain survey of requirements. What are the requirements for each component of the or what are the demands of each component of the system? You survey of current operations and operating conditions. Are they suitable or not in the current situation? Survey what are the outputs and what are the inputs. So you have to see these four things: inputs, outputs, total requirements, and also the working conditions or operations conditions. Those things have been described in detail on page number 19. Survey of requirements and survey of current operations, survey of inputs, outputs, as well as other things given are already there on your page number 99 and 100. It is very common. What are the demands? What are the requirements? What is internal requirement? Everything has been given in very simple way, which you can read and follow. Evaluation phase. Under evaluation phase, you have to evaluate the each component, each service, whether any inefficiency is there, whether the services are cost efficient, and is there any requirement to modify, eliminate certain things, maintain certain things, revise certain things. All those managerial aspects are there, which supposed to perform under managerial aspects. Under design phase, it has been given that while designing a new system, the same data is used in preparing the evaluation report of the existing system. So, what are the steps involved in designing phase? If you want to design a new service, review of the program's economic feasibility of unit cost, verification and validation of requirements, specification of inputs, outputs, formulation of objectives of new design, designing of printed forms, final steps in design, designing of procedures, all those things which are very, very common in each library, in each organization. These things are required. What are the demands? What are the economic feasibility? What are the inputs, outputs? What, based on the objectives, you have to formulate the objectives also if you design a new service. And how you can install a new system. So if you want to make complete change or basis with little break in service duration, translation. Suppose you are using, I am giving example, you are having a manual system of circulation that has been continued for a very long time. And if you have purchased a software, you have installed in the library, and you want to switch over to computerized system of circulation, there may be a little halt of a day or two. Install that system, create it, keep ready the database of users, keep ready the database of books, keep the instructions properly fed in the computer so that those instructions are followed by the management software. And suppose you are issuing book for 10 days or 15 days, whether there is any introduction of uh, fine system, penalty system for late return of books, all those things. And how many books are to be issued to a student, how many books are to be issued to a faculty member, and uh, how much duration of issue of books to the staff, faculty, and how much to the students. All those aspects. There may be when you install a new system, whether it is manual system or whether it is a computerized or mechanized system, you have to install it, and that system works properly. Because when new system is involved, there will be some teething trouble. We call it teething trouble. New thing introduced, there may be some problems. Identify those, give solution to it, rectify, and once you are adopting the procedure, rectified procedure, you will be able to. Why only computerized system? Suppose you switch over in manual system also. You have been farming using MLISc system of circulation. You know about the MLISc system? Can somebody tell me what is MLISc system of circulation? Under which a card is issued to the reader, on which the recording is made while issuing the book, because it was introduced by a library in New York. It has been named after that. And suppose you switch over from New York to Brownie system, in which tickets are issued to the readers. One book can be issued against each ticket. You have to install, make changes in the system. So from time to time, making study of a particular system is needed. You have to evaluate the services, decide where change is needed, where a new system is to be replaced with in place of old system. You have to properly systematically introduce the new services. Then how you can, of course, everything given in your study material of paper 2,
Sir.
though it is based on the principles given by the management gurus, everything is for the library. Because you are going to be master of library science, all those principles, all those systems are only meant for the library, to be applied to the library. And if you see your examination papers also, then most of the questions will be related to the application of a particular principle or law related to management. How you are going to apply that in the library? That only is there, isn't it? If you see the questions, how you can apply a certain rule, certain principle, certain procedure of management for the smooth of your library. So everything is related to the library. And if you see to page number 102, 103, and 104, the clearly it is mentioned application of system analysis in library field. How you can apply system analysis, how you can do system analysis for your library where
Sir,
you are working or in a particular situation. Yes, please. Yes, please.
sir,
Yeah.
design phase are both same.
System design
Design phase,
and design phase.
both are same.
So, design phase is, yeah, it is almost, you have to, system design means you have to design a system for the organization. We are having different components. How that organization, suppose it is a library or it is a business organization, how it is going to work. So it is known as system design. Design phase means it is a phase of, suppose you see here in your study material itself, you will find there is a on page number. You see here it is given the page number 101, design phase. Design phase is what? It is same thing. Reviewing the programs, economic feasibility, verification and validation. This I have told. Same thing it is. Same thing. How you have to prepare the system design, designing print and form, final, and then formulating the objectives. Everything is given. It is same way. Same. Then now coming to application of systems analysis in library field. As I told, the study of making systems, making the study of a system or analyzing the system involves certain things. How it starts with formulation of objectives. So in case system analysis is done for your library, first you have to set up the or formulate or set up the goals for your library. What kind of for setting goals, what you have to do? Goals means objectives. Why your library has been established. Your library is set up. Suppose the library is in a research organization. The library is set up to provide the resources, information resources, whether it in print form, whether it is in audio visual form, whether it is in online form. All those things you have to set up in your goals. How you are going to provide those resources to the researchers. How are going to spend for those, or how much finance is required for procuring those resources. Second, you have in your objectives, you are going to decide how you are going to provide those resources to the users, manpower, who is going to provide what kind of service, what kind of services you are going to provide. Everything by making systematic study, you find out things, then formulate those uh, you are finding a goal or objective. What is the why your library is set up? What services it is going to provide? What are the contents are going to be your information center of your library, so that the information needs of the researcher is fulfilled. And also you have to interact with the users. What will be their requirements? Once requirements of researchers is assessed, you can plan for finances, plan for resources, how you are going to procure it, and then set the objectives or goals of your library. And if you see the next given here is library management and system analysis. It is must when you do the analysis of your library system, then only you will find what are the things your clients, what services they need, what resources they need, how you decide this procedure for providing those resources, how you are going to lend them, what are the reference resources they will be requiring, whether if you are procuring from outside some databases, maybe patents, maybe standards, maybe scientific literature, whether those things will be directly used by them, they will be accessing, or if they need some help, are there any skilled person in your libraries who can assist the users to get those things searched for them, provide it to them, to the users. There should be no halt. Suppose users are doing themselves searching and formatting, but there you have to see that there is no interruption in subscriptions. You are providing to them, that is continuously received to them. Whether they need any previous files of that particular things. Suppose it is they are using current journals, whether you have got the past journals, legacy files, back files in online, provide to it them. Suppose something is not there in your organization, will you be able to procure from outside by using document delivery service? If you are having consortia, consult other members, find if they have got the resources needed by your clientele, acquire from them, temporarily provide to your user, a photocopy, get a print out, or get a PDF of material which they need. All these things will be possible only if you are making system analysis of your library, and then you can be able to provide. Suppose anywhere any problem is there in your system itself, try to rectify. Then, of course, uh, you have to use this system analysis if you are providing library automation. So far, you may be having manual system of providing information, lending documents, getting documents, getting journals. If you are making a change by introducing e-journals, by introducing e-databases, by introducing the web resources, if you are introducing a web page for library, those are there. You have to analyze, you have to introduce. While introducing, you make that those resources, those new things acquired, clientele are able to use it systematically without any problem. If they need any help, if they need training, in-house training, keep a person, a skilled person in your organization. If you send your one staff for training somewhere, for accessing the resources, for providing training to train the readers. So that can also be done by making systematic analysis of your system which is working presently. And here they have given the book ordering system or interlibrary. I have been telling you, you can uh, make changes in your book ordering system. You can procure the things by placing, instead of writing letter, send by email, use the latest method, get by, instead of getting by surface mail, you get it by what we call airmail, so that document can be procured early. Or if you want to use the modern technology, get the e-book, so that in minimum time you can place order, in minimum time you will get the e-resource and make that e-resource available to the, make changes as per the time. And you have to critically examine the things. Here, some of the things are given on 105 page. It says how you can make the critical examination of facts and how you can suggest for alternatives. What is achieved? How is it achieved? When certain thing is required, from where that thing can be procured, who is going to use that resource? So alternative is there. Instead of that, you can see what what is the alternative, what else could be, how else, when else, where else, who else, means some alternatives. Always when you make examination, you list out what is the existing things and how you can make changes in the, some alternatives can be introduced, whether for the services, whether for the materials, whether for the personnel who are providing the changes. So these things are to be systematically examined, evaluated, and after evaluation, systematic change can be. So some of the salient features, some of the things in your 2 units, that is unit number 5 related to planning, and also related to what we call systems study, that is making system analysis, finding us, and also replacing if you find some inefficiencies. So these are some of the things which I wanted to, it is of course generalized way. Remember, all these principles, all these laws are theoretical. Practically, when you are applying the management, laws, management principles, for systematic organization of your work in the library. You may not know that you have already applied those principles while performing certain things. You may not know. You know, we know, but as it was saying, we know of our system. We know what is there inside, how our food is digested, how acids are added, how the food is digested, how it is converted into energy. We don't know. We are simply eating. We are deciding what to eat, how to eat. Once you have eaten, rest of the things will be performed by the system. Same way, when you provide services to your clientele, you may be automatically following the principles behind without knowing. Only then, when you make a study, you say, oh, this is the principle we are applying. Now, Ranganathan has given you 5 laws of library science. Do we every time while doing cataloging, we feel that it is for save the time of the reader? Classifying, because save the time of the reader. We are expanding our library because library is a growing organization. No, automatically those principles are followed without knowing. So this these things are just for our information that these such a laws have been made, and unknowingly or knowingly we perform our duties, we perform our functions, and those principles are automatically followed. A manager does not know he is not told that you have to solve the automatically if he faces some situation in the library or in the organization, he will take corrective step because he knows how to. So where is the fault? How to set up that fault? How to solve that problem? It is the part of function. So remember, these manage you will be automatically following. Read it, you will feel better. Just this pulse, but while automatically solving situations, then you will right management principles in providing the service for organization. As I have told, your study material are given in detail. Some of the things are kept in short. But for your, I suggest you to read a book, Library Administration and Management by Krishna Kumar. Small book, costing some few, I think 100 or 200 rupees that book cost, or in your library you can see somewhere, Library Administration and Management by Krishna Kumar. All these things, how a library follows the management principles, what are the principles, where what is to be followed, everything is given in this book. This is what we call Library Administration and Management. You please read that also, read this one. Here, it is oriented towards library management and administration. So this is by Krishna Kumar, published by Vikas Publishing House. It gives you good knowledge about library administration and management. In very simple language, it has been given. Of course, you study your study material, no doubts. It will be many things are given in that, but you can also follow other books which we have. It has been provided. So this is all I want to convey for today's class. I think you are having next class at 2:30 by Professor Sudarshan Rao sir. So
Excuse me, sir.
be prepared for that. Pardon? Yes,
Sir, Unit 6 lo important questions.
Priyanka.
Yeah, sir.
Unit 6 low.
Yeah, sir. Important question.
What is mean to in the last law? Same. I will tell you. Normally it will be in Unit 6 law. I will tell you. 1 minute. The first question given on page number 108 now, if you understand that, that is the important thing. Define the terms system analysis and system analysis, and comment on the need for system analysis in the libraries and information centers. This is the relevant question, important question related to system analysis. And fourth question, which is given in that, discuss with illustrative example the application of system analysis in libraries and information system. These two things are very important from in unit number 6. Understand what is system, what is analysis, what is system analysis, and then with examples show how you can apply system analysis in the library and information system. This is very important question. Okay. And of course, as far as unit number 5 is concerned, the fifth question, there they may ask you to what is meant by planning and what are the steps involved in planning of libraries and information centers will be the important. If you know to apply the planning process for managing your library service, it is enough for you. So you should know the definitions of what is meant by planning, how you are applying it in library field. Okay. So here, I think the time is up for 2-3 minutes are left for another professor to join for your next class. So I for now for today discuss in next class. You, if anything are any doubts are there, please list out, keep it with you. We'll try to clear those doubts in our subsequent classes. Okay. Anything more? So I am now closing.
Thank you, sir.
Any doubts, someone? Archana, Shalini, any doubts? Tommy?
No, sir.
Okay. Next link లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండమ్మా. నెక్స్ట్
సార్ అసలు లింక్ ఎందులో పెడుతున్నారు సార్? మాకు లింక్ అసలు రావట్లేదు తొందరగా. అసలు ఏ గ్రూప్ లో పెడుతున్నారు, ఎవరు పెడుతున్నారో తెలియట్లేదు.
వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ అమ్మా.
మాకున్న 2 గ్రూప్స్ లలో ఎందులో కూడా పెట్టలేదు సార్.
మరి మీ నెంబర్ ఇక్కడ టైప్ చేయండి, నేను చెప్తే ఇప్పుడే యాడ్ చేస్తాను.
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్, టైప్ చేస్తాను.
మీ పేరమ్మా?
వరలక్ష్మి సార్.
నెంబర్ చెప్తుందరా.
షేర్ చేశాను సార్.
చేసావా? 9533
78575.
78575. ఓకే వరలక్ష్మి గారు, ఇప్పుడే నేను మీ నెంబర్ యాడ్ చేస్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
నెక్స్ట్ ఏమన్నా క్లాస్ ఉందా సార్ మళ్ళీ?
ఉంది ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ అని పేపర్ 3 ఉందండి.
ఓకే సార్.
మీరు వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్లో ఉన్నారండి?
సార్
వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్లో ఉన్నారా మీరందరూ?
ఓకే సార్.
ఉన్నారా వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్లో మీరు?
ఇదే సార్.
వెరీ గుడ్. మీ పేరు? వరలక్ష్మి గారు, మీ నెంబర్ యాడ్ చేశాను, చూసుకోండి ఇప్పుడు.
ఓకే సార్.
మీకు ఇన్విటేషన్ వచ్చింది.
వచ్చింది సార్.
మీరు యాడ్ అయిపోతారు.
ఓకే.
మీరు యాడ్ అయ్యారు కదా?
సార్ యాక్చువల్గా మరి మాకు 2 వేరే గ్రూప్స్ ఉన్నాయి సార్. అందులో ఏ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తెలియట్లేదు.
మీరు అది మీరు స్టూడెంట్స్ మీరు యాడ్ చేసుకున్నది గ్రూప్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఆఫీషియల్ మేము తయారు చేసాం.
ఓకే. అందుకే లింక్ ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది చాలాసేపు. ఎవరో ఒక స్టూడెంట్ పెడితే అప్పుడు జాయిన్ అవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది.
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
రైట్ అండి.
సార్
ఎనీ డౌట్స్ ఇంకోరు?
సార్ శాలిని సార్ నా నేమ్.
చెప్పమ్మా.
సార్ నాది కూడా లింక్ ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది సార్, నాది కూడా యాడ్ చేస్తారని.
శాలిని గారు, మీ నెంబర్ వాట్సాప్ ఇక్కడ పెట్టండి.
చెప్తా సార్, నెంబర్ ఇదే నెంబర్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను.
మీరు చెప్తే నాకు అంత మెమరీ లేదు, కానీ అక్కడ టైప్ చేయమ్మా.
ఓకే సార్.
రైట్.
సార్ నేను ఇంకొక 2 నేమ్స్ చెప్తాను, అవి యాడ్ చేస్తారా?
మీరు ఒక పని చేయండి అమ్మా, మీ వరలక్ష్మి గారిని నేను అడ్మిన్ చేస్తాను, ఆమె యాడ్ చేయమని చెప్పండి.
ఓకే సార్.
రైట్ అన్నారు.
ఓకే సార్.
వరలక్ష్మి గారి నెంబర్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా చాట్ బాక్స్ లో, అది చూసుకోండి.
సార్ అసైన్మెంట్స్ 2 ఇచ్చారు కదా, ఒకటే బైండింగ్ చేయాలా సార్? 1 సబ్జెక్ట్ 2
ఒకటే బైండింగ్ చేయాలమ్మా.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ
సార్. ఆల్రెడీ చేసిన వాళ్ళు వేరు చేశారు, 1, 2 వేరు.
నో ప్రాబ్లం.
ఎట్లయినా అయింది కదా? ఓకే సార్.
వరలక్ష్మి గారు మిమ్మల్ని గ్రూప్ అడ్మిన్ చేశాను, మీరు యాడ్ చేసేయండి. ఓకేనా?
సార్
మిమ్మల్ని గ్రూప్ అడ్మిన్ చేశాను వరలక్ష్మి గారు.
చేస్తారా ఈ గ్రూప్ అనేది?
వినిపించట్లేదు.
హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి చేస్తారా సార్ ఈ గ్రూప్?
అవునమ్మా.
హైదరాబాద్, వరంగల్ మొత్తం మిక్స్ ఉంటారా?
అందరూ ఉంటారు.
ఓకే సార్.
సరే. ఇప్పుడు నేను లింక్ క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాము, నెక్స్ట్ లింక్ లో జాయిన్